Well, welcome into another exciting episode of The Scene. I'm your host, Bubba Startz, and with me today is Jeffrey Umberger. He's the Director of Client Experiences at Complete Wedding and Events in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Welcome to the show, Jeffrey.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah, well, we were just talking off camera. I had to cut you off. I was like, "Nope, this is too good. We got to get the whole story." You're new in this position, the directorship, but you've been with Complete for I think you said 8 years now. Why don't you take us back to the beginning and how it started, and then we'll bring us all the way to now.
Yeah. So it all started. I was working for Caribou. I had just gotten promoted to a district manager, um, and I was looking for something more. Um, and I'd always done two jobs, so there was nothing new to me. And so I just kind of started looking, and I found an ad that asked me specifically, are you the life of the party? When you go to the party, does everybody look at you to play music? And do you have a magnetic personality? Um, and as I'm going through it, I'm mentally like, check, check. Yep. Like that's hands down. That is who I am. And so I gave it a shot and I applied for it and with no experience whatsoever. And I got an interview and they offered me the job right on the spot. Um, and it's just kind of taken off from there. I have a huge passion for people and just spoiling people. I feel like everybody deserves at the bare minimum one day to be treated like kings and queens. And so why not have that day be the day of your wedding? And so that's just kind of where it's gone from there. With Complete, I've done everything from DJing to photography, videography, photo booth. I've done wedding planning. Um, in 2018, I actually owned my own Complete Wedding and Events in Virginia Beach. And then COVID happened. And once COVID happened, the state actually was one of the stricter ones, had shut down for about 4 months. So I had to close the business down and we ended up moving back to Sioux Falls. Um, but I kept my career with Complete and I moved back and started, kind of working with the Complete here in Sioux Falls and building that up and continuing to DJ. Um, and yeah, then they called me up and they told me that they have expanded some and that they need some help with fixing some perceptions. Um, it's in our world, Complete is very unique in the fact that we were a nationwide franchise. We're the largest wedding nationwide franchise. Um, we are in, I believe it's 28 or 29 states now. But everyone is different. And each one, so franchise mainly helps with name and then the marketing piece. It's up to the owners to kind of do everything else. And the perception we have in Sioux Falls, because we have 22 DJs, because we do 1,000 events a year, the perception is that the DJs that we get aren't always consistent. Um, and the other perception is you never know what you're going to get when you have Complete. Um, and that perception couldn't be any further from the truth. And so they want me to kind of come in and help fix that ultimately. Um, my passion in it, as I mentioned, is people. But I love to build businesses. I love to have businesses work together. Networking is I think some people dread it, and it's one of the things that I just do so naturally.
It's my
Uh,
whole life, Jeffrey. I don't.
and so and so like that's my game plan. I mean, going forward is to quite literally help fix that perception and help people see um, that what Complete offers is quite literally an opportunity to be able to spoil every couple that we work with.
Right. Well, and that's kind of how we connected. As I saw, I mean, you've been in the restaurant, from chains, district manager, obviously with Caribou. You were managing another local restaurant, I know. You have a passion for customer service, right? You don't elevate to those manager levels in those retail spaces, right? Retail food, especially,
Oh yeah.
without being about the people, about the customers that you're serving. So obviously it serves you very well. And now, like you said, you get to spoil them on their biggest day of their lives. I
That's right.
know, as being married, how much it meant to my wife, and I do events as well. I'm sure you know. So we kind of set up our own and did our own thing. And but I understood what it meant, because while I get to step on stage, 25, 30, 40 times a year and to be the center of attention, my wife doesn't get that, right?
Yeah.
And most normal people don't get that except for this one day of the year. And it really is something that came to me not only on my own wedding day, but I played the Saloon Number 10 in Deadwood last summer. And during the course of the week, we were there for a 5-6 day residency. And I mean, I saw 30 wedding parties. And whether they were there for the bachelorette parties, or whether they were coming in on their wedding night, and I was playing their first dance now, right? I became your wedding band just because we happen to be here at the same time. And it was, this is your day. Even though I'm here and it's my show, honey, I want to make this all about you. This is your
Yes.
big day. What song can I play you? So I feel that, right? I want you to feel special. I want you to feel the specialness that I feel up here on this stage, sharing this with you. So
Yes.
thank you for sharing your day with me. And I'm sure a lot of that has to be, kind of ingrained in you. I don't know, it must be since birth. Guys like us that love to network and just love being about other people, we're definitely a rarity in this world. Yeah. But I feel like you couldn't have fallen into a better position now with Complete in this directorship, right? In this revamping of the outward reputation of Complete. Because unfortunately for you, the only time that people see you really is at that wedding. Well, you're not in necessarily a public space, right? You're doing these very private events, and every experience is going to be different. And you have 22 DJs, and it sounds like what you're trying to do is to get a little bit more consistency within the organization, and then showing that consistency out into the public facing world, right? Because it only takes one bad experience, and especially if it happens to someone who is loud, right? Or has a little bit of a following, or just, likes to complain a lot, and they can completely ruin a reputation for a company that's done thousands of weddings a year for, I mean, I don't know how long Complete's been in Sioux Falls, but the entire time I've been living here, that's 5 years at least, right? You worked for 8 years. So, a decade invested or more into this reputation. And because of the private facing nature of your business, you don't necessarily have that public image out all the time. It's not like me where I can just go to the next show and everybody's going to see it again and I'm going to tell everybody about it and I can restore that reputation in a day. It's going to take a little bit of time and maybe some different avenues to get you into that position. So what are some of your plans for accomplishing this?
Yeah. So my biggest plans, or my biggest focuses right now, are how we do our training. So I've started to streamline and rewrite our training process. So I've set it up now to where the way we have it is that every DJ will DJ a minimum of 5 weddings before they do anything on their own. And they do that with an experienced DJ. The training process is now going to be streamlined to where day 1, everybody does the same thing. Day 2, everybody does the same thing. And so it kind of goes through. So then that way you have multiple trainers that can provide the different styles and the different experiences when it comes to actually DJing. But the training process is the exact same no matter who you go to. And so if Jeff is your trainer on day 3, he knows exactly what needs to be covered, even though he wasn't training day 1 or day 2. And so then in addition to that, then it's the networking piece. It's going around to all of my venues, working with all the vendors, and just reminding them who we are and letting them know what that game plan is, and communicating with them the changes that we're making within our organization to kind of fix some of those perceptions. It's also getting back out into the community, getting back out and just giving back and showing people and reminding people that, yes, we are a business. We are a business that does 1,000 events a year, but we're also people, and people make mistakes at times, but ultimately our focus, even through all the mistakes, our focus is still to make sure that we can spoil you in any and every way. And I think that once people understand that we're not just quote unquote equipment being hired to do a job, but they understand that we're people and people make mistakes, that's where the perception is going to get fixed. That's where it's going to happen. But it has to start with the conversations that they have with me or with Sarah, the owner, in the very beginning, and then go all the way through their entire experience. Then with their DJs or their photographers or videographers or whatever that is, with us, everybody has to be on the same page, and everyone has to realize that customer service for us is quite literally treating them like kings and queens.
And it's paramount to your job, because it only takes one bridezilla to out there and to be loud and to just smear your name to destroy that, those 10 years of reputation that you built. It's very easy now for one person in the social media age to put some tarnish on that, right? It's not going to destroy you, but it's going to tarnish that. And, I don't know. Now, you said Sarah, the owner, but have they ever had someone kind of in your position that is that, like the public relations person, they're not just sales, right? Sales can get very touch and go, but the customer service representative, right? Has there been anyone in your position that's kind of the go-to person, the guy that's going to put a smile and to smooth everything over with any of the clients? Or is this a brand new position that they kind of created to have you in?
This is a brand new position that has been created specifically for me and to help this business grow.
That's fantastic. And it sounds like it was needed. I mean, obviously with Complete here in Sioux Falls doing 1,000 events, that's a massive operation, right? That is huge. I don't even do 50 shows a year anymore. I used to play every weekend, but I don't, it's a lot, right? Setting up the speakers and doing all the stuff. And then you have to get up and perform. And I think a lot of people will look at DJing and be like, oh, well, you're just playing music. Well, at a wedding, it's a lot different. You're going to have a massive demographic that you're pulling from. You have people from newborns to 90 years old. You have to be able to fit into that. You're not playing club bangers all night for a 20-something crowd where you can just hit the top 40 and call it good. You have to have experience. You have to have a knowledge of popular music over the course of now, I'd say about 60 years, right? It's 2020. So you have to be able to dig songs out from the 60s, but also be able to play some current stuff so that the teenagers at the party can vibe too, right? And that's a massive part of it. You don't just want the bride and the groom to have their best day ever. You want everyone in that room to have their best day ever, right? And it seems like you're very aware of that, but maybe some DJs and some even patrons or clients don't necessarily understand the scope of that whole thing as well. And it's easy to look, I think, at production because of the cost associated with it. It's not cheap to hire a Complete or anyone, right? Like my band to go perform for a few hours is not cheap. And it becomes the easiest thing to kind of nitpick on too. Oh, well, that DJ just wasn't, well, who cares what the excuses are, right? Or the reasons, but it's a very easy thing to go, God, we spent thousands of dollars on this and this little thing was wrong and this little thing was wrong. And it seems like just having you there from the short conversation we've had today, just having you is going to smooth out a lot of that stuff because performers, DJs included, don't necessarily always have great social skills or
Yep.
customer service skills, right? So it
Yep.
seems like you can take a little bit of that away from your DJs, train them to go out and to be the show, be the performer that you are, and let me handle some of this customer service side of it and solve that problem.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It's what it is. And it's defining customer service, and because the definition of that, just that simple thought in itself, is different for everybody. Everybody has a different definition for what customer service means to them. And so it's making sure that we explain that customer service has different point of views, and that we explain that just because what happened with one couple isn't going to happen with the next couple. And so when we do our consultations, it's really getting to know the couples that we're dealing with and that we're working with, and the dynamics between their families and their friends, and just everything. It's got to start there and then go through. And you're absolutely right. With all the experience, the 20 years that I have in the hospitality world, um, I am definitely not short in dealing with tough situations or frustrated clients. I mean, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure
you've
anyone
seen it
can.
all, buddy. I've done hospitality. I mean, I grew up in Deadwood, so your first job was always kind of as a dishwasher in one of the casinos or something, and working around. So yeah, I understand completely that you are the perfect man for this job. I love that you've been able to elevate through the company and start with no experience as a DJ and to now be the one who's kind of developing SOPs for these, developing trainings for these DJs. And we hate to see it go away. It's so easy in the world of AI now, and
Oh yeah.
everybody feels like you can just kind of automate a lot of this stuff. But the human element is what has always made events, especially memorable, right?
Absolutely.
So it's great to know that Complete has found you, and you guys have found this new position that I don't know if there's anyone on the planet that's more qualified to do this than you, Jeffrey. So
Thank you.
congratulations to you. A big congratulations to Complete, and continued success to all of you guys. And I'm sorry, I'm already married, so won't be a client anytime soon, but maybe we'll talk about renewing the vows at some point and we can get
There
a
you go.
hold of you then.
Absolutely. We love it.
Jeffrey, how can people find Complete wedding and DJ services, and how can they get a hold of you?
So they can go through our Facebook, Complete We Do, Sioux Falls. They can also go through our website at completewedo.com, and Sioux Falls. And they can reach out to us there. We offer DJ, photography, videography, photo booth, uplighting, day of coronation. We're there for all of it.
That's awesome, man. Well, Jeffrey Umberger, thanks so much for being part of the scene.
It's a pleasure, Bubba. I appreciate it, sir.